Hello, I am back. Please raise your hands who are all back from the break. And Girish, uh, actually there is a lab to which we have to submit the audio file, and that audio file is transcripts. If you want to do real time transcription in Teams Meet, uh, then you will not find here in the URL that or in the page that I have suggested to you. The page that I have suggested to you extracts the information from the audio file. It may be coming from Teams Meet. So it will extract the data from audio file and will create uh, structured data out of it. I can see 4 hands raised. I am waiting for few more hands to be raised. My question was to integrate our agent with MS Teams. Girish, you need to give me some time. Now I am in training. As of now, I will not get time to work on it. Maybe on Monday, I will work on it. But the question is, how do I share it with you? Because this is being a marketing session. This session is not basically to address project level questions. But still, I will work on it. How do I share it with you? That is something we need to resolve. LinkedIn profile. That is possible. That is possible. You drop a message to my LinkedIn profile. There I will try to revert to you on Monday or Tuesday. I can see 7 hands raised. I'm waiting for few more hands to be raised. Waiting for few more hands to be raised. Only 7 hands raised. I'm waiting for few more people to raise their hands. Just want to know whether you are back from the break. So that's why I asked everybody to raise the hand so that I can see a count. And once a quorum is made, I can start the session. I can see say 10 hands raised. So I think let me wait until 12 hands raised or 12 people are back from the break. Let me resume the session thereafter. So, Mr. Vijay, in case if you haven't raised the hand, please raise your hand. And keep your hands raised, huh? Ensure that count should not go down. Okay, sometimes after some time, it takes your hand down automatically. So be watchful whether your hand is still raised or not. Please raise your hands otherwise. Okay, I need only one hand to be raised to resume the session. Only one hand to be raised to resume the session. Yes, Girish. I will look into my LinkedIn profile after our session. Waiting for one more hand to be raised. It's 11 hands raised. 12 hands raised. Okay, so let me resume our session now. And hereby, let me go to the next module now. Next sections now is section natural language solutions in Azure. And here we will also see a Python code, which will interact with that model. So how a Python code interacts with the model, that also we will see. Interact with a service, not with the model. If you want to see Python code which interacts with the LLM model, that code you will see here. Huh? Here at this place, you will see that code. Where it is? Develop an AI app with Azure AI Foundry SDK. Here you will see that Python. I will do one thing. I will take you through. I will not show you demo because of the lack of the paucity of the time. Okay, but I will take you through the lab so that I can give you the glimpse of the Python code. Okay, because I got a question from you. How from the client side the Python code can be written to interact with the model. So that thing we will see here. Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Sorry. I'm sharing my screen. Thanks for bringing my notice. Yeah. So I am here. Huh? I opened or section 1 only. Inside a section 1, here I am in section 1. I went to third module. I could not reach to third module, and I have opened a exercise lab from there. I went to third module, section 1, third module, exercise. And there I will take you a fast forward into these lab steps. Okay. Thereafter, then I have to move to the next section. Deploy model in Azure AI Foundry project. This step we already did in our earlier lab. Same step we have to follow. GPT-4o model. Okay, and here it will create a project. On the project page, there you saw there is a project endpoint and mm, yes, project endpoint and API key. Okay, now here is a client side application. Okay, this client side application you can try in Visual Studio Code, or you even can try it in any other editor. Okay, what editor this lab is using is that in your Azure portal, there is something called as a Cloud Shell, and inside a Cloud Shell there is a PowerShell available, and in PowerShell there is a code command available which gives me a kind of editor. It is a Python language editor we have got in PowerShell of Cloud Shell. Okay, so there I will go. I will download from the GitHub. I will download one project. Okay, here is the step to download the project. Okay, here I may be setting the prompt, PowerShell prompt to this Python folder. Okay, and there I am say creating Python's virtual environment. Python virtual environment is actually a folder inside which a project can be developed. All things which are necessary to develop a project are downloaded there within that folder. Okay, so here we have Python folder inside which we are creating a Python environment. Okay, here is a Python environment. Okay, here we are activating that Python environment. And in that Python, in that folder, we are downloading all necessary libraries needed for this lab. Okay, very three simple commands available there. Okay, so the first command makes that Python folder to be virtual. Second command activates that Python folder. Okay, and the third command installs all Python libraries in that folder. So that folder becomes ready for running your Python code. Okay, now here is one .env file. The name of the file, whenever is beginning with a dot, it means it has become a private, what is a hidden file. It becomes a hidden file. Now, what is the purpose of this file? Can I change the name of this file? Purpose of this file basically is to mention any configuration information needed for your project. Configuration information. Okay. Now this file, the name of this file, you specifically cannot change, for the reason that uh, uh, .NET has one library, load env. Okay, and similar library, equivalent of that library, okay, has been introduced in by .NET for Python also. That library basically reads this .env file, reads the configuration data from it, and supply that configuration data to your code. So this is what configuration design pattern, okay, that can be used here at this place. So with this, we will open that file and we will update that file with the configuration information. For that purpose, code command is there. So code command gives you editor where that file will appear. That file, you will make the changes into that file, and what kind of changes do you need to make into the file. So these two things, URL, here is a URL. Sorry, here is the API key. This API key you have to configure within that file, and URL you have to configure. Okay, AI Foundry URL you have to configure within that file. So you will get URL from here. By clicking here, you can copy paste it, copy it to clipboard and paste it in that file. Here, if you click on this icon, okay, the API key, it will copy into the say clipboard, and that can be pasted there into that .env file. So only two configuration settings are there. Okay, endpoint and URL. With this, now you will open one chat.app.py. Okay, code.chat.app.py. This chat.app.py, you will get this .env file, you will get, okay, when you download that project. So when you download that project, these files you will get. Okay, so those files you will open and you will make changes there. So here, what are all imports you will have to do in that Python file. Okay, those imports are given. Okay, here you have, it will create a project client object. Now this project client object is able to interact with the project that you have created inside the Foundry. It is to interact with the project that you have created inside the Foundry. Okay, and in order to interact with that project, okay, project endpoint is what it needs, which it will get from that .endpoint file. Sorry, .env file. Okay, so it will get a project endpoint and it will apply its default approach to submit the credentials. Okay, and it will get the project client object. And this project client object can be used to interact with the project. Inside the project, we already have deployed GPT model. So reference to that model is being brought here. So see the steps. Okay, here we have created a Python environment. Okay, .env file we are updating. Okay, and in that .env file, endpoint and API key, these two configurations we are mentioning. Then here we are opening the Python code. Okay, in that Python code here we are importing all necessary libraries. Okay, and here then we are creating a project client. Now the question is, okay, from where it will get endpoint. Here is the endpoint variable, where it will get this value populated into this endpoint variable. Okay, so that it will get that value populated into that endpoint variable from that .env file. And before this code, okay, that code you do not see here, but you will see that code in that Python file. There is a 2-line code written to load the data from .env file into this variable, So there is a code in that Python file where you will see call to the load env function, which will load configuration data from .env file into Python variables. And those Python variables we will use to create the project client object. This project client object now, okay, is responsible to create a kind of a bridge between your code and the cloud project. Okay. Here you will get a reference to GPT-4o model. And once you get a reference to GPT-4o model, okay, here is a way we are giving a system prompt. Can somebody tell me what is a system prompt? Can you recall what is the system prompt? Instruction like system prompt. Instruction to the agent, yes, agree. But whatever I explained you in that context, can you add? So one way it is correct, your answer is correct, but I'm asking you a question in the context of whatever discussion we have done up till now. So before the break also, I explained you about the system prompt. So system prompt basically is a sentence, okay, which defines the role or which explains the role to the LLM model. Okay, this is your role and you have to play your role this way as a history teacher, as a somebody instruction to LLM, as a somebody, who will giving knowledge about the world. Okay, something like that. So that is the system prompt. So here, through the Python code, how do we give the system prompt? You are a helpful AI assistant that answers questions. So see here, I am creating one JSON array. JSON array, square brackets are representing array. Okay, and in that array there is a one object. Okay, role, system, content. Content means actual prompt sentence. You are a helpful. Yeah. And this JSON array I am creating in the Python variable named as a prompt. Okay, this is just a Python variable. Fine. To that prompt, then user will enter some data. So above his code, okay, in that Python file, there is a code, Python code to accept. any question from the user. Okay, so in order to accept any input from the user, there is an input command in Python. So that input command will accept input from the user. User is supposed to give a question. Okay, once that question is received here in this variable, this is again a Python variable holding the question entered by the user. Here I am creating another prompt. This is now a user prompt. And that user prompt I am appending to the prompt array. Why do we append system prompt, user prompt to that prompt array? That is a big question. Okay, but you will get answers soon. Open now here is a say object to connect to GPT-4o model. Okay, we created this object here at this place. Okay, so now to that GPT-4o model, okay, I have to call completion and create. So I have to create a prompt for that model. Okay, model deployment. This is the name of the model that has been deployed there. Okay, and sorry, I told you that only 2 configurations are made in a .env file. No, there are 3 configurations. End key and API key. I already mentioned. This is the third configuration. Name of the deployment. Name of the deployment means whenever you are deploying GPT-4o model while creating the project, what name of the deployment you have given. That name again is a part of the one of the configuration parameter in .env file. And here is a prompt. So whenever we are submitting a prompt here, a system prompt and a user prompt means the question from the user is being submitted. And here we are receiving the response. Then there is a Python code which is showing the response to the end user. Python code which is showing the response to the end user. In case if this is being written in JavaScript, okay, then JavaScript syntax you will have to use to show this response to the user. And here you will have to take data, the question entered by user using JavaScript syntax. But this way, we are asking user to submit the question and we are showing the user the response what is created. Yes. Thereafter, you have to follow these steps and you have to run your chat epp.py command. Okay, and then you can give n number of questions to it. But this is a code, or you will get that code if you uh, download, or if you download this project, this project or this command even works in Visual Studio Code. This command even works in Visual Studio Code, and you can try this code in Visual Studio also. You can try this code in Visual Studio also. Let me just check. Do I have code ready in Visual Studio? Let me just check. Okay, that code may not I may not be having, but here is the code which can give you idea about how can we. This is translation. Just a minute. Text analysis. Let me go to text analysis. No, these are all cognitive services code. Okay, as of now, I do not have .env code. Sorry, LLM code, but from here some idea we can get. Okay, whenever you download that project from, I can download that project. Just a minute. There are some shortcuts I will have to recall. I want to download. I want to open a GitHub text box here. In that text box, I can give a GitHub command. So I'll go to file, find files, start debugging, toggle terminal. Anybody can help me out? Anybody knows that shortcut? Okay, which opens a text box here where I can give the commands. Control Shift P. Shift P. GitHub. Git clone. Git clone. Let me try giving that URL there. Okay, some error is appearing. Git remote repository not found. So, okay, fine. I will have to verify why it is not working here. Clean up files in the folder. Git clone. No. Fine. Okay, I will have to verify why it is not working. Okay, but otherwise I can download that project from there. So what I wanted to show to you is to give some idea from this code. Okay, just a minute. Okay. With this command, it will load a .env file. Here is a .env file. In that .env file, here is a property name and here is a property value. That property value, anyway, I told you from where to get into clipboard. Okay, service key. Whenever you create a project, okay, it takes you the home of the project page. Okay, home page of the project. There you will see API key and URL. Those things you have to mention here. Okay. Second thing is in the Python code, these three lines will load. This one line will load the content of the .env file into memory, and from there, here we are getting those content into Python variables. Okay, and thereafter, then whatever Python steps written there, those can be referred. So that way, you can try, you can get an idea of how using the Python code, you can interact with the GPT service. Okay, because of the paucity of the time, I cannot go into the every lab in too many details. I am trying to give you simply hints. Okay, but otherwise, and in the 5 day session, we take you through every code, every lab. Yeah. Okay. Any question on this? Has it given you some idea at least? Acha, yes. Terminal from menu. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. No, it can take multiple roles also. Then you have to mention there, no, what are all those you want it to play. So it can take multiple roles also. Instructions for LLM. Yes. Yeah, I referred to these messages little late. Any other question, please go ahead. Otherwise, I think it is the right time. We should not get further late for going into the next section. You can lower your hands. Okay, I think there are no questions. I am closing this exercise. Natural language solutions. Now here see, the first module was for LLM. First and second module. These two modules were for LLM. Okay, both these modules actually describing you how you can utilize the power of the generative AI. The third module talks about uh, using natural language solutions for different purposes, computer vision solutions for different purposes. Okay, so not all the services offered by these, are effectively offered by Gen AI. Gen AI may not offer all these services that effectively. Natural language solutions, for example. Okay, natural language solutions, perhaps all the services what it offers, Gen AI offers, but not same thing is not true with a computer vision. So natural language solutions. Okay, how does it analyze the text? Okay, whenever you are submitting a feedback to it, how does it identify whether feedback is positive or negative? Okay, then build conversational language understanding. Here it talks about chatbot. Okay, second module talks about chatbot. Chatbot means you put the question and you immediately get the answer. Again, put next question and get the answer immediately. So that is chatbot. Conversational language means it is very important topic for what we call it as a robotic process automation, RPA. It is very important topic for RPA. Okay, your Alexa, like arrangements have been developed using conversational language understanding only. Okay, in conversation, and it gives you fundamental understanding of how agentic AI may work. Okay, it also gives you fundamental understanding of how agentic AI may also work. Okay, custom text classification solution when you receive a mail. Okay, and you see that mail gets automatically is moved to some specific folder. So what it does is automatically it classifies that mail by going into the content of that mail and accordingly decide which class or which folder that mail go to. Okay, that is test classification. Here you can even apply if you have millions of documents and if you want to categorize these documents subject wise and different types of categories you can think of. Okay, so and that you want to do it very quickly. There also this particular technique can be used. Custom text classification. It applies for text classification. Okay, translate text from one language to another language. Okay, create speech enabled app with Azure AI service. I'm trying to take this. Okay, where text, speech to text and text to speech translation. Okay, and speech translation is shown. Okay, so translate speech. Here also speech translation from one language to another. And this is speech translation from text to speech and speech to text. Okay. Develop audio enabled generative AI application. So here what they have done, this is speech to text service they use, speech to text. So whatever I will speak as a prompt, okay, it will be converted into text. Okay, and that text will be submitted to generative AI application as a prompt. So here you will see a lab based on converting, combining speech to text cognitive service with generative AI service. Okay, so little bit complex lab here. So these kinds of labs are there. Let me take you one by one. So analyze text with Azure AI language. analyze text with Azure AI language. By example. Here it is. Okay, so we will submit a text to it. We don't know which language that text has been written into. And here we will use this service to know, is it English? Is it Spanish? Is it any Indian language? Okay, so detect the language, identify key phrases from the language, identify sentiments, whether the text is representing positive sentiment or negative sentiment, extract entities from that text, extract linked entities from that text. So how can we do all these things? That is being covered in this module. Okay, analyze text, for example. Let me take the lab directly so that all the conceptual understanding also can be done from here. Lab launch exercise. Analyze text. So here it is asking me to go to Azure portal. I already have logged to Azure portal. Here I am. Yes. Yeah. And there it is asking me to create a language service. Now remember, this natural language service and cognitive services, they do not use LLM down the line. They use deep learning neural network down the line. So I'm clicking on plus create. I'm in resource group and thereby I'm clicking on plus create. I want to search language service here. Language service. Here it is. So I'm clicking over here on the language service and I'm selecting this service to go ahead. Okay, clicking on create. What are all things language service by default can do? It can do sentiment analysis, key phrase extraction, pre-built question answering, chatbot-like arrangement. Conversational language understanding means creating, I just took a name no, to which we give the command. What is that? It is at my home also. I ask it to play a song and it starts playing the song. Huh? Wrong. The jukebox no? Connected to our internet. Alexa. Alexa. Okay, named entity recognition, text summarization, text analysis for help. Everything. Yes, it is Alexa. Okay, these are services available on choice. As of now, let me go with these services, key phrase extraction and other services. So text analysis, text summarization. So I'm clicking on continue to create your resource. Okay, that is the step that lab is mentioning. So here I'm in that lab document. Continue to create your resource group. I think it is AI-102. I already have selected. It is already appearing here. Region. Let me go with East US 2. Now, cognitive services I do get properly from East US 2. So I go to East US. Name of the service. Maybe project name. Pricing tier. Let me go with the free tier. Yeah, that's all. Once I have to acknowledge the terms of the responsible AI notice. So that box I checked. And now let me click on review plus create and it will start provisioning the service. As of now, it is validating the inputs, what configuration inputs, what I have given. Okay, and once I click on create, it will start provisioning the service. Yeah, it may take next 2 minutes for provisioning the service. And once that service is provisioned, then I will take you to keys and endpoint in the resource manager section. Okay, thereafter I will follow these steps. Okay, it is in deployment. Yes. You can lower your hands some. I can see four hands are raised. Huh. So here, see, my service has been provisioned. Okay, I am going to that resource. Here is that service in my resource group. Here is the resource group. I click over there and I go to the overview page of that service. I am inside Chandra Lang service. This is overview page. And on this overview page, here you will see endpoint. So Chandra Lang service dot endpoint. This is service specific endpoint. Yeah. Also, if you go to resource management, here in the left side blade, you will see resource management. There also you will see option for keys and endpoints. If you click over there, okay, same endpoint, what I did, I just did show you on the overview page is appearing here also. Okay, and key one and key two. One of the keys, either key one or key two, you have to select. Next thing, what it is asking me to go to Azure portal. Okay, and to go to classic version of PowerShell. So now let me take you to the Azure portal. Okay, and here I am on Azure portal. Now I don't need this tab. Let me close. Yeah. Okay, and if you go in this top bar, there you will see this icon named as labeled as Cloud Shell. So when I click there, okay, on this, okay, go to the settings. Here is a go to classic version option available. I click over there. So it will open PowerShell, a classic version of the PowerShell where I will get the code command. This code command gives me the editor where Python code can be rewritten, can be modified. Let me maximize this screen. Yeah, let me clear this screen. These commands. Okay, you don't have to select and copy these commands. Simply click on copy. Okay, and you can paste it here. So first command is the deleting the folder in case if it is existing of the name MS Learn AI language. So any pre-downloads are existing that it is removing. And second command is downloading Git clone project fresh. Done. Again, let me clear the screen. Next command. So see, you don't have to type any command. Okay, the commands are already given. I want to change the prompt, set the prompt to text analysis folder. Okay. So see, This folder structure has already been downloaded as a part of the Git clone. Okay, I'm setting the prompt to it. Yeah. CLS. See, in that folder, let me run ls.r.l command. No, sorry, what is that command? See the directory there. There, ls-a-l. ls-a-l. Hyphen A shows hidden directories also or hidden files also. So because of that hyphen A, I can see .env here. And there is a text hyphen analysis.py. That Python code is existing. Requirement.txt represents all Python libraries to be downloaded. And reviews. Reviews do have some say feedback files. Okay, let me show you. dir review. Yes. So there are around 5 feedbacks existing there, and all these are text files. Yeah. Let me make this text analysis folder as a Python workspace. Okay, so here are the commands. First command will make the virtual environment, second activate set, and third is pip install to install libraries mentioned in the requirements.txt as well as additional libraries which are not mentioned in requirement.txt, but we need it. Okay, so those libraries it will start downloading. It has started downloading all those libraries. Yes. And now here I have to open .env file. .env. See, code command opens the editor, and that editor is appearing here. Okay. Now in this editor, I have to fill up the information of the Chandra line service what I created. Okay. The first configuration is AI service endpoint, and here I have to mention endpoint. Let me delete it. Okay. And let me bring endpoint from here. Endpoint. Here it is. Copy it to clipboard and let me paste it here. Second is AI service key. So either key 1 or key 2, any one key will work. So key 2 maybe. No difference, either you use key 1 or key 2. Okay. In order to save it, this field dish is showing, suggesting me that it changes I have made, but have not been yet saved. So let me press Ctrl S to save the changes and Ctrl Q to come out of this code window. Yes, I have configured .env file. Yes. Next is now to make the changes into text analysis.py. Text analysis.py. Here is the Python code. Very first step is to write all imports, which are importing the libraries. If I go to my lab, okay, here are those commands already given. So two classes are being imported: Azure key credentials, text analysis client. These two classes are being imported. And if you recall, we did execute a pip install command to install all these libraries in the Python environment. Yeah. Okay. This will load configuration data from .env file. This will populate Python variable by the endpoint from .env file and by the key from .env file. Create a client using endpoint and key. Remember, Here only we have populated a data coming from .env file. Now we have to create a client. Client is an object which helps my Python code to interact with the cloud service. So here it is. Azure key credential object is being created, inside which key is being wrapped, and then text analysis client is also being created where endpoint and credentials are being given. It will create client. Client means the object which will interact, which offers me API to interact with the cloud service. Yeah. Fine. If I put this much code to run, okay, it has to show me, this code has to show me, has it been connected to the service? That is one thing. Second is reviews folder, To go inside reviews folder and show all text files existing there. So let me try putting this much code first to run. Here is a command to run that. And now here you can see. See. Review.txt, here is the content. Good location, helpful staff. We stayed here in August after reading reviews. It seems this code has a positive sentiment. The only downside was the noise from Lombard Street. So it seems it also has a sentence on negative sentiment. So there is a positive sentiment, there is a negative sentiment. It means for this feedback, the sentiment analyzed will be neutral. It is about review3.txt. Its sentiment will be neutral, but try to see it is able to read all the feedback files. That is to be understood. Okay, review 5, review 4, all feedback files and its text, it is able to read. CLS. Next is, now let us apply the steps one by one. Okay, so first of all, we will detect the language. Okay, so this is the code to detect the language. I will explain you the code also. Here, I have to submit that code here at this. And here you can see on the AI client that we created here at this place. Okay, on that AI client, now we are calling API. So the first API is the detect language. And to that, we are submitting this text. This text. From the text, it may be extracting other information that we don't need. Only text we want to be extracted from there. Okay, and then we are asking it to detect the language. Here we will get detected language and that is being printed. Okay, at the same time, let me try getting sentiment also, and then I will put this code to run. Okay, so it has to show me language detected, and this code has to show me the sentiment. Yes. Sentiment analysis. So again, same AI client, analyze sentiment and print sentiment. Let us first of all try these two. Does it identify language for every review given there and sentiments given there? See here. This is the content it has pulled from the file. It has detected its language as English And there are positive and negative, mix of positive and negative sentiments. Sentiment is mixed. Review 5. This is another file. Now, this file is written in French. It has detected the language as French. And sentiment is positive. Now, I cannot read this French, so I don't know. I have to believe it only that it has something good written about the hotel. Review 4. Okay, again, here there seems to be mixed. There may be at least one sentence, okay, which may be forcing it to detect it as a mixed sentiment. Hotel is located on Lombard Street, which is very busy. Very busy 6-lane street directly off the Golden Gate Bridge. Traffic from early morning until late night, especially on weekends. Noise would not be so bad if rooms were better insulated. So see, it is a negative sentiment. Okay, and sometimes we may have to read it twice to understand that it is negative sentiment, but it has quickly analyzed that it is negative sentiment. Somewhere there should be positive thing written also. The hotel is in the Marina district, which with lots of good places to eat within walking distance from Presidio. Maybe good hotel for young stay up late adults on the budget. Some positive sentiments, some negative sentiments. That's why mixed. This is completely negative. This is an old hotel and the room furnishings are average, becoming a bit old now and require changing. Internet didn't work and blah blah. Next, okay, it is positive. Clean rooms, good service, great location. That's why positive. So that's how it is able to identify the language. I detect the language and identify the sentiments. Okay. Add code to identify key phrases. Okay, key phrases can also be extracted. Okay, so let me simply show you how does it give me the output to extract key phrases and entities. So I'm going to the code. Key phrases. Yes. On the same line, you can copy paste about entities also. Okay. Control S, saving, and you can see the list of the key phrases of how it extracts CLS. And then I'm putting the code to run. Now for every feedback, it will show you key phrases also. So see here, key phrases, Royal Hotel, good service, great location. All key phrases also it has extracted. And how your code looks like, very simple API they are giving. Once you get API AI client, okay, call detect language method, call analyze sentiment method, call extract key phrases method. Okay, to extract the things. On the same line, there is a code for extracting entities, linked entities. Okay, but API is very simple. Again, on AI client, if you call get entities method, it will give you entities. If you call get linked entities method, it will give you linked entities. Any question on this lab? Any question on this lab? Whether in this lab we are using LLM, yes or no? Are we using LLM? In this lab, are we using LLM? So Vijay Kumar answered it as yes. I am waiting for few more answers to this. Actually, see, this lab is not using LLM. This is using deep learning neural network, RNN. Down the line, it is using RNN. So it is not using LLM. Okay, if you recall, I told you, okay, here, these two sections are talking about LLM. This third section is talking about deep learning neural networks. They are talking about deep learning neural networks. Okay, I have one question. What that load env method does, where we are pointing the neural network. Acha, acha. Okay. Good question. This service, whenever we created, this service has been created on the neural network hardware itself. This is not GPT-4. We did not deploy GPT-4. We did not deploy Llama. Okay, this service has been created at the top of neural network only. We don't have to point it. The service itself is on the neural network. एक minute. Yeah. My next question is, what is the purpose of the endpoint? Endpoint we configured here in .env file. What is the purpose of the endpoint? What is the purpose of the endpoint? Can anybody answer? Endpoint uniquely identifies that service. Every service, whenever you create there, a unique name is given to that service. Okay, and that unique name becomes a part of the endpoint, and endpoint is a URL which identifies the service uniquely on the cloud. What is the purpose of the key 1 or key 2? What is the purpose of the key 1 or key 2? For authentication. Yes, correct. Once you identify a service uniquely using endpoint, okay, its request hits to that service, but that service first of all ask it, who are you? Are you authorized to access the services? Show your identity, and there comes a key 1, comes a role for key 1 to play. Okay, key 1 or key 2. Thereby that service identifies and then opens all its services. Okay, whether this lab has given you some idea of how these cognitive services can be used in application. If I want to extract 1000 PDF documents every day, and what will be the process and pricing involved? So process will be same. Now let me take you to that code again. Here what I did, those reviews I uploaded into a folder here, by using that git clone command. Okay, here are those reviews. PIR reviews. Okay, in case if there are thousands of documents, you will not upload those documents here because size is very large. You may be keeping those documents on block storage or data lake store somewhere. You will keep those documents. Okay, if you upload those documents maybe on the block storage, okay, then here you have to write the steps to open those documents. So Python code to connect to blob storage. Again, there will be URL and authentication key. That authentication key will be of the blob storage. So you have to write a Python code here to connect to that blob storage and read those documents one by one. Okay, now your next question is about what is price involved. Okay, so for price involved, okay, there is a pricing calculator available. Just www.google. Pricing calculator for cognitive services in Azure. Here, AI service pricing. Pricing by service. Okay, here you will get all the details. So which service you want to go, OpenAI service, search service, language service. Now here it is, language service. Identify, analyze and summarize text with natural language processing and learn more about it. Okay, so on this page, here is a pricing calculator also. Okay, so on this page you can refer. Let me share this URL and you can calculate estimation. Extract knowledge is something different. Huh? For extract knowledge, there is some other provision. Now here I am, as you, Acha, you have mentioned PDF. Okay, sorry. I thought you have 1000 text documents. Now, if there are PDF, image files, means JPG files, okay, then what to do? So then what you have to do is go here. Okay, very last section. Develop AI information extraction solutions. Here you go. Create a knowledge mining solution with Azure AI search. Create a knowledge mining solution, whether you have 1000 documents or 10 lakh documents. This solution is highly scalable. Okay, and there you will have to attempt this lab. This lab again, is a big lab, takes around at least 3 hours to 4 hours. Okay, but here you have to upload the data. On that data, you have to create AI search service. AI search service create indexers. Okay, those indexers then extract the data to apply enriched extraction of the data. Okay, and create the indexes. Then once that data and that data mining solution is ready, you can use that data mining solution for any kind of extraction. So this model perhaps will help you to get a solution on the problem what you have mentioned there. Let me share the link of that model. For consuming cognitive services, we have to use Azure portal only, right? Not Foundry portal. Yes, yes. Azure portal only. They are yet to club these Azure services into Foundry portal. Although they are planning it, but they are yet to club. So still, cognitive services are separately available. Although I will go a little bit ahead, okay, by mentioning that it's not only Azure portal. As you will do these labs, you will see there is a separate portal for language management, separate portal for computer vision management. So there are at least 3, 4 portals, face management, separate portal for face services management, at least 4, 5 portals available, which are not yet clubbed with Foundry. Okay, but once they will be clubbed with the Foundry, then you will get everything at one place. Can we do this by agent? Agent also can invoke this service. So agent can invoke this cognitive services and any other service of Azure. Is it possible to feed multiple MATLAB Simulink files as a part of document intelligence? What is this MATLAB Simulink? I am not very sure, not aware. MATLAB Simulink files. MATLAB. No. Means I am not aware. One thing I can tell you, as of now, what are all different formats it is supporting? I mean to say this document intelligence. Uh, as of now, what I know is MATLAB integration is not yet made available there. PDF files, JPG, some other formats of image files are possible. Text files are possible. But product specific files, you may have to, convert those files into maybe JPG or PDF. Okay, and then use it. Some way around we may have to find. Oh. Any other question, please? Have I missed any question? Okay. Please remind me in case if I have missed any question. Huh? So many messages are there. Okay, so please let me know if in case if I have missed any question. Okay. One nice example let me take. One nice lab let me take. That perhaps will give you one more insight. Create speech enabled app with Azure AI service. Let me one interesting lab. And here, okay, let me open this exercise. Create a speech enabled app. Launch exercise. Here I will pick something and that service will translate it into English. That is one thing. Second thing is, whatever that translation, I want that service to use somebody else's voice and speak it out. So it will speak it out. Whatever I have spoken, I can hear it in somebody else's voice. Okay, so it is asking me to go to portal again and go to speech service. But before that, let me delete that language service from there. Here it. Let me delete language service first, and then I will create another service. Yeah. So another service, what I am supposed to create is a speech service. Speech service. Speech service. Try giving here. Speech service. Here I am getting. This is AI Foundry speech service. Yeah. Let me click on create. Resource group. Same. AI-102. Region East US 2. East US 2. Name. Chandra speech service. And pricing tier, let me go with a free. It will not charge me. Clicking on review plus create. And then I'm clicking on create. And thereby I completed up to this day. Once it is provisioned, then I will take you to keys and endpoints. But in the meantime, while it is getting provisioned, I can go to PowerShell and go to its classic version. So hereby let me open classic version. Okay, in the meantime, my speech service is ready. So I am going to that resource. Yeah, I'm going to that service. And I'm going to resource management. Resource management. And there I can show you keys and endpoints, which we will need to do the changes into the Python code. One more very important point to bring to your notice. If you recall in language service, when I gave it a name as Chandra Lang service, whenever it created a URL, in that URL, Chandra Lang service name was appearing, and that name itself was making that service unique. But here you see, though my service name is Chandra Speech Service, in the endpoint, it is not showing me name of my service, it is showing region of the service. It means actually it hasn't created a service. Service is already existing in East US2. It has simply registered my speech service to that speech service. So it's not a service dedicated to me only. Okay, I am simply registered. I have been registered to that service so that now I can avail speech related services from there. So here git clone command. Next. Let me show you the directory. ls-a-l, ls-a-l. Yes. So .env file is there. Okay. And this is speaking clock.py is there. And this time wave is there. It will read the audio from this time wave and translate it. Okay, so it can read data from the file and translate it. Okay, if I use or I configured it, that I will tell you later also. If I configure it to read the data from the mic of your laptop, okay, it will read audio from the laptop and translate it. So either it will take the audio from the laptop, that will be real time reading, or it will take the audio from the file. Both way it is possible. Okay, one more thing I would like to bring to your notice. Now this is speaking clock. Why it is speaking clock? Just a minute. Let me go one level up. Speaking clock. I thought there is another folder also. I do not see that folder. Anyway, CD. Speaking clock. Okay. To the speaking clock folder, I want it to be a virtual Python environment. Okay, environment is ready and all necessary files have been downloaded and have been installed. Now let us go to .en. Let me clear the screen first and .en. Yeah. And now here, key. Let me copy key from the portal here. Let me mention it here. Let me copy region. Region history. So it is not asking me endpoint because from the region it can create an endpoint. So that's why it is keeping my configuration minimum. Control S, Control Q, Control Q. Yes. Next step. Speaking clock.py. Copy. dir. Speaking clock.py. Here is the code. I will explain you the code. These are all imports. Yeah. So import for key credential object, import for Azure cognitive service speech SDK. Yeah. This is whenever console is shown to the user, this command is to clear the console. This command is to load. Load the .env file, okay, and populate its Python variables from the file. Configure speech service. Now, here are the steps to configure speech service. So here we are creating a speech client And to the speech client, we are giving speech key and speech region. Okay, both these things we already have configured in .env file. We already have configured it in .env file. Okay, and once so here actually only configuration file we are creating. Only configuration file. Now here you see transcript command. So this is the one function, custom function written here. Here it is. And we are supposed to write some code inside that custom function also. To configure speech. Okay. Now here, let me do one thing. I want to play this audio file, but for that purpose, you will not be able to hear what is being played on my screen. I have to stop the sharing and I have to share again in the different way. Okay, so I am stopping the sharing and I will come back within a fraction of minutes. Not even fraction of minute. I think I came back in fraction of seconds only. Yeah. Now let me play and let me know. Do you hear audio from this playing?
What time is it?
I can play.
What time is it?
I don't hear. Let me play again.
What time is it? What time is it?
Just a minute.
What time is it?
Now it is set. Okay. So somebody has spoken something and that is there in the audio file. Okay. Now from that audio file, I want to translate that into text. Okay. So for that purpose, I have to create audio config here. We did create a speech config, okay, which refers to the speech service. Audio config defines the configuration for, from say, about the date, say audio source and other things. Okay, so here it is. So I am copying this into configure speech recognition. Configure speech recognition. Huh. So here you are referring to this time.wav file of which audio we just heard. Okay, here we are creating audio config which is declaring the audio source. Okay, so this is coming from the file. Okay, and then here we are creating a speech recognizer. This speech recognizer object we are creating, which will be responsible to do translation. So this speech recognizer, speech config and audio config, both these configuration objects we are submitting. And now here you will see actual command to do translation. Transcript command. Here it is. Speech recognizer. Yeah. So here you are using speech recognizer, which have been declared here, and recognize once asynchronous is a method available there for asynchronous recognition and translation. Here you will get the translation. This is a JSON object inside which all other parameters about the translation will also appear. Okay, only translation if you want to pick up, this is the thing. Only translation can be picked up. Yeah. That's all. So that translation then we are returning from here. So that translation should be what time is it in words? And if that translation is really with what time is it in words, then it has to call tell time method. Okay. So up to this, what it is going to do, that it will pull the data, audio data from the file, translate it into English sentence. Okay, that's all. Then I may want somebody else to speak it out. Okay, that we will do in tell time method. But first of all, let me just verify whether it is able to do translation of the text coming from that wave file. So this much I let me save and let me put this code to run. See, what time is it is the translation, and then it did call tell time method. Okay, so this is output coming from tell time method. Now the time, so the region here we set this set for this is the East US 2. So it is bound to show the time of East US 2. Okay, going further, now I will do some changes into this file. And what changes I will do in this file, or what this, not this file actually, this code, that in somebody else's voice, whatever sentence it has picked up from the wave file, that will be spoken by somebody else. So let me copy that code here. Synthesis speech, that is called as the speech synthesizer. And synthesize spoken output. Yes. Let me save it, and again let me tell you that it will be using Ryan's voice to give me response, audio response, and that audio response will go into output.wave file. So I am saving this and let me put it to run. As of now, only one wave file is existing. It is time.wave. But if I put this code to run, okay, again output.wave will also appear. Spoken output saved in output.wave. dir, here it's. Let me run this file for you and let us see what is whatever it is mentioned. Okay, so
The time is 10:50.
again let me put it to run.
The time is 10:50.
So I hope you have heard it. Was it audible? The time is 10:50. Was it audible? Yeah. I can change that audio. Okay, so somewhere here they may be giving a URL where I can get a whole list of. Just a minute. Somewhere there is a URL they are giving. Okay, may not be in this lab. Somewhere there may be it in the notes. Okay. Uh, Configure audio formatting. Maybe here. You may see that URL. Here it is. Pitch SDK documents. Okay. Open a new tab. I will share that link to you. Let me simply confirm first. Yes. I am sharing that URL to you. You too can refer to it. In case if I want that voice to be not in US accent, but maybe in Indian accent, so here I will search for Indian English. Indian US CHI. That is for India. French, Persian, Spanish, English, India. Here it is. Huh. Maybe let me hear it in the voice of Aarti. And let me change this sentence. Time is something something format. Time is okay. Here here I have to mention something. Okay. Now it's time for the break, tea break. Huh, okay. That much change I have done here. And let me put that code to run again. I can hear that voice in somebody else. I can hear that audio in somebody else's voice. That is one thing. Second thing is I have done some change into the text. What time is it? Time is 10:56. Now it's time for the tea break. Okay, and now I have to run the output.wav file. Output.wav file. Download output.wav. Uh,
The time is 10:56. Now it's time for the tea break.
I hope you have heard it. What she spoke is time is 10:56. Now it's the time for the tea break. Did you hear that? Uh, okay, I think I will delete this service. Okay, in case if you have any question, please go ahead. Otherwise, I will delete this service. Okay, and then we will go for the tea break. And post tea break, I will take you to computer vision service. Okay. When you will be able to resume the session? By when you will be able to resume session? 10 minutes. Uh, can we make it 15 minutes? I will find myself difficult to get the coffee boiled in 10 minutes. Yeah. So we will resume our session by 4:45. 4:45. Yeah. Yeah. I will go on the mute. I will stop sharing the screen.
Until then, guys, redeem your badges. Back. Time we wait.
Okay, I am back. I am lowering all the hands, and please raise the hands if you are back from the break. I have lowered all the hands. Please raise your hands if you are back from the break. I can see 5 hands raised. I can see 5 hands raised. Can I expect few more hands to be raised? I can see 6 hands raised. Okay, I am sharing my screen, and we will go for computer vision now. Computer vision. So what are all modules available here? Okay, that's what we will see, and what kind of use cases we can manage with this. Okay, this is for analyze the image, where in case if these are architectural images, it will analyze that image, and it will create a summary of that image, or it will create a title for that image. So that is image analysis. Just a minute. Huh. Read the text from the image. It will extract the text from the image. Here it can even extract names of well-known companies. Maybe signboards are there, maybe names of well-known companies appearing in that image. That also it can extract. Okay, so it uses OCR, optical character recognizer, to extract images, sorry, text from the image. Okay, this helps it in another way also. In case if you are creating quick search solution of billions of images, for example, in journalism, there are billions of images. Okay, and you want to create a quick index on all these images. Okay, so some of the images do have a text within that, and you may want those images to be identified by the text. That may be a title, or uh, any kind of text is there in that image. So in order to create a indexes of on all these images, that extracted text can be used to create index to for quick searching. Okay, so there also you can use text, read text images, detect, analyze, recognize faces. Now this feature you might have seen. I do have this feature in my mobile, that whenever I want to take a photo of a person or a group photo, then it identifies the faces, and very clearly mark the faces with a rectangle. Okay, so it recognizes faces there. Classify images. If I submit one image to it, it will identify the objects in that image, and accordingly it will mark those objects by drawing boundary around those objects. So maybe in case if it is say X-ray of a person, okay, and it want to identify the bones, so it may label those bones. It will draw rectangles around the bones. This is the femur bone. This is hip bone. That way, it may identify. Um, yes, in CCTV footage, different objects which may be appearing, those objects can also be identified. Okay, so classify image, sorry, detect object. I was talking about detect object. So there, an object detection feature can be used. Analyze videos, so it can analyze the videos, and accordingly, that analysis either can be used to create an index over the videos, or even those videos if are submitted to some services, some created models, those models can identify anything unusual if happening in that video. So in case if that video is on the heavy traffic street, okay, and in case if traffic is slowly moving, there is no alarm. But in case if it recognizes that there is a small accident on that street, that CCTV footage will immediately raise the alarm. It will capture, it will analyze, and it will analyze that it's an accident, and accordingly it will raise the alarms. Okay. Vision and enabled generative AI application. Okay, that also is mentioned here. So generate image with AI. That so some part of generative AI is also here in computer vision. That also you can refer to. Here, what I do, let me take you to this lab. Analyze images. Here we will submit an image, and it has to, give me uh, some analysis of the image. Okay, so yeah, here it is. Analyze. So here I have to create a computer vision service. So I have to go to Azure portal and create a computer vision service there. So first of all, let me go to my portal. There is a portal. Here. And here, let me create a computer vision service. Resource group AI-102, East US 2, name Chandra Computer Vision, pricing tier free. And let me click on review plus create. Okay, okay. So there is one last checkbox. I think I forgot to check it. Okay, this is all information here. Let me check this box and let me clicking on create. Let me check some in message from you. No message. Here is a computer vision service. Yeah. Okay. So I have created a computer vision service here. Now here it is asking me to go to PowerShell, download the or clone the GitHub project. Okay, so let me do that. So for that, let me go to PowerShell, copy. Okay, so these steps are followed. Now let me go to these two steps and let me then activate the Python environment. And now here I am supposed to mention key. So resource management. Key one. Endpoint. So my .env file is updated. And now let me modify Python file. Python file. Import namespace. So here is the code to import a namespace. Next step is I already have explained you these steps where here we are importing all necessary class files. Here we are clearing the screen. Here we are loading .env file and populating the data into Python variables. Here is a streets.jpg file in images folder. Okay, here I can show you images folder. Here is the images folder. And there are three images, building.jpg, person.jpg, street.jpg. So I will first of all go with the street.jpg. Authenticate Azure. Now see in the, if you recall in text client also we created a client and on that then detect language and other methods we did call. Okay. Here we will do same thing. Here also we will have to create a vision client. Okay. So here is a vision client, image analysis client. Yeah. So here it is creating image analysis client endpoint being submitted to it through the Python variable. Okay, and here AI key is also being submitted through the Python variable, and client sorry endpoint and AI key although are coming from .env file. Yeah. Analyze image code. So here is a code to analyze image. Yes. So it is reading that image file. The image file that has been submitted has been, first of all, its memory image is created. What are all things we need to analyze from that image file? So I wanted to create a caption, dense caption, tags, objects, people. We will try to understand the meaning of each of these. Okay, but what what are all things we want to analyze? File server error, unable to save. Okay, wait. Yeah. So what are all things we want it to analyze for us? Those things. Here we will see their meanings one by one. Get image captions. First of all, get caption means after the analysis of that image, I want it to give some caption to that image. So get image caption. Yes. So there you can see here we are creating a computer vision client at this place. We have created a computer vision client, and while creating computer vision client, I did submit it endpoint and AI key. Okay. So here we have submitted computer vision client, and here on that computer vision client we are calling analyze method, and here we are getting a result. So that result now we have to analyze for caption. Okay. So here it has to print caption, and here it has to print dense caption. So first of all, let me show you this much execution. So how does it analyze the image and how does it show me a dense caption? That is, let us see. Before that, first of all, let me show you that image also. Okay, so that image is in the streets.jpg. Na? Download, download images slash street.jpg. Yeah. So it's an image of a person who has taken his dog on the walk. Okay, so there is a street behind him. There are taxis and cars behind him. Okay, so the main theme about or main analysis of this image is not that it is only a street and there are cars running on the street. It is that the man has taken a dog on the walk. So with that, now let me put this code to run. Here is here is that image. Here is that image. Okay. So with that, here let me run this command. And now let us see what kind of captions and dense captions it creates. Where is the output? Show object. Acha, show object method it is not calling at all. No, no. Objects of DPG. Oh, sorry. But this print method has to come. This print method has to come. Let me do one thing. Let me try this much only. Still it's not printing anything. The screen is clear. Options might have been loaded. Okay. The file image. Open read. There is no print statement is that here. Oh, sorry. I did not save my code. Analyzing image. Caption cannot be supported in this region. Feature caption is not supported in this region. There is no mistake in the code. Result.caption is not supported in that region. Valid request. If the result.caption is not. What if I comment this whether dense caption will work? I don't see this type of error normally. Does not mean that this error does not appear. It appears. Okay, but for me, it is appearing for the first time. Dense caption also is not supported. I think issue is that with that region only. I have to create another service, maybe in the different region and try this code. Okay, that way it will work. But the point, I think, the point of the discussion, I think everybody got here. Caption feature is not available in the. Okay, are you getting the same error? In the exam, they also ask about GenAI relation topic questions. Yes, they do ask. They do ask GenAI related topic questions also. And in the first section, if you recall, where we create the covered two modules, okay, third module and a couple of other modules we did not cover. That section is extensively uh, explaining Jain AI support. Other sections may be explaining that support in bits and parts, but that first section, okay, first and second section. In second section, it is a complete discussion on agentic AI or AI agent. Complete discussion on AI agent. Okay, so but yes, there will be questions on Gen AI, and I believe there will be around 20% questions on 20 to 25% questions on Gen AI. I will not exaggerate, but maybe 25 to 30% questions on Gen AI. Girish, which region did you select? Is it possible to process the flowchart images? I haven't tried, but I believe yes, um, it can. We need to try. I haven't tried, but it can. Or if it is not trained to analyze flowchart event, generative AI definitely can do that. Large language models certainly will be able to do that. Not only that, even from the image, if you ask large language model to write the code, yes, it can do. Or from the code, if you ask it to draw flowchart, it can do. Okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. So I will have to, again, how to feed images to Gen AI. Okay. How to feed images to Gen AI. Let me first of all close this. Okay. I think I have given you at least some jump start to go with it. Okay. I have to create other service, maybe in some other region and try this code. Okay. But as of now, for East US2, this code is not working. But this is not the case that ECS2 does not support caption and dense caption. Maybe at later point of time, same code, without I do any change into it, it will work. So hereby I am closing it as of now. Yeah, let me just get rid of the services from here. Delete. Okay. So your question was about how to submit images to Gen AI. So I am in this computer vision section. You go to computer vision section, and if you scroll down here, develop a vision enabled generative AI application. This section, this module you can refer. And in this module, develop vision enabled Gen AI chat app. Okay, let me launch. Hereby, you will come to know how to submit image to the LLM. Okay. So here again, it is asking you to go to Foundry portal. Okay. Choose a model to start a project. But now, uh, here it may be asking you to select a different model. 5-4 multi-model instruct is what it is asking you to select. Okay, you can go. I think GPT-4o also support it. I do not able to recall. Okay, but in the GPT series, only very recent model will support it. Okay, in 5.4 also. Okay, this 5.4 is a very recent model in 5 series. That's why it is supporting. So it is asking you to go with this multi-model support. Okay, and once that model is provisioned, once that project is provisioned, okay, from here you can test that model. So maybe some Mango JPG image, it is asking me to download. One thing we can do, shall I give you the demo of this lab? What do you suggest? We have not more than half an hour in our hand. Okay, may not be, we will be able to complete the demo, but some part of the demo, demo at least we will be able to work out. Some basic idea also at least you will get. So what do you suggest? You will come to know how to submit images to Gen AI. Yeah, Girish, I agree with you. But in this region, East US 2 region also, that feature is available. Maybe at the later point of time, that feature will work. Okay, so let me quickly take you through the steps of this lab. Okay, so here is a URL to go to AI Foundry portal. Here, so I open it in AI Foundry portal. Okay, and there I select for that 5.4 model. So let me copy the name of that 5.4 model. Here it. Okay. So here is the name of that model. Let me deploy this model quickly. 5.4 multi-model instruct. Let me select this and let me start deploying the model. Use this model. Uh, let uh, let the project name be this only. I am clicking on create. Array. I forgot to mention advanced option there. Just a minute. Okay. They haven't provided any button there to terminate this process. Now it has started setting up the project. Okay. But again, issue with the region, I don't know whether that region, that project I will get in that region. Let us wait for its provisioning. Okay, and then in the meantime, if you have any questions, please go ahead. Huh. Yeah. And, give me a minute. Let me switch on the YouTube light. Let it deploy the project. So in that lab, you will see both approaches. How do we submit image in the playground, and how do you submit image through the Python code? Both approaches are discussed there. Agree and process. So let me go with this deployment name only. Okay, and nothing I have to set here. Clicking on deploy. And in what resource group has it created this project, that I will have to see. Created by, everything is there. Let me go to, so Model has been deployed. I will go to playground later. Okay, it did not create a project actually. Where is the project? Boundary resource deployments. Okay, go to playground. Ah. And to that, in that playground, now we will see how one mango image can be submitted to it. So let me download that mango image. So I am downloading that mango image in my local machine. Ah, save image. Mango.jpg download folder. Let me save it in download folder. Save. Yeah. So on this image, I want to put some questions to it. Okay, so now I am in playground. Okay, under chat playground page, setup pane, ensure this model is selected. Okay, so I go to it's a chat playground. Huh? Here it is. Try chat playground. See in the setup that model name is appearing, and here simply in the chat history, I am not declaring any role for it. Okay, because the question that I am putting is very general. Okay, what desert could I make with this fruit? I'm not. I am leaving it to identify what the fruit is. Okay, this is one thing. And from here, then I can attach that image. So I'm attaching that image. Here, and I'm submitting to it. And I am asking, okay, I'm hoping it will identify that image correctly. And yes, it has identified. It's a reap mango, which is suitable for a variety of the desserts. Possible desserts include mango sorbet, mango pudding, mango salsa, and mango smoothies. Okay, so yes, it has identified that fruit. Okay, how can we submit it through Python code? Any question on this? Whatever I have covered up till now. Before I go to Python code, here let me go to project to know which resource group it has deployed this project. RGCVJ 2013. Here it is. Okay, I'm going inside that project, and there you will see it has created a resource. It has created resources. Okay, so next step is here we have put the question to it by submitting the image. How can we do the similar things using Python? So I'm now going into my Azure portal. Okay, let me create Cloud Foundry there. Sorry. Yes, Cloud Foundry there. PowerShell. Create a client application. Yeah. PowerShell. Cloud Shell there, not Cloud Foundry. And go to classic version. Yeah. So I am in PowerShell. I have to go to classic version. Here it is. Okay. Uh, yeah. Clone the GitHub project. Let me quickly follow initial few steps. Set the prompt. Create a Python environment. Yeah. Let me do the configuration here. Project endpoint in your model endpoint. Okay, so here is a project endpoint. Project endpoint. And model deployment model name. Deployment model name I will get from model plus endpoint. Here it is. 5.4 multi-model instruct. Yes. Control S and I'm control Q. Yeah. So I completed configuration of .env file. And now it is time to open the application. Okay, in the application, I will copy this code and I will explain you the code also. So first of all, let me open chat application, maximize the screen. Default Azure credential, AI project client, Azure Open AI. Yes. Okay, here you know it will clear the screen. Here you know it will upload the configuration from .env file. And now here we have to create project client. Here is a step to create a project client. Yeah. So project client we are creating exactly in the same way what we did earlier. So here we are submitting an endpoint and we are asking it to connect to the project. Okay, without bothering about security. Okay, so default project client we are asking it to create, bypass environment credentials, bypass managed entity credentials, and say automatically get the API key and connect to the project. Simplest way to connect to the project. Get a chat client. Here is a chat client. Why chat client? Because through the prompt, we want to submit an image. That's why. Huh. So see here, from the project client, I will get a chat client here. Okay, this is OpenAI chat client, what we have got. Okay, I did explain you about the session 1, module 3, wherein I did show you a code. Okay, there also we follow exactly similar steps. We created a project client and then we created a chat client. Okay, here is a system message. You are an AI assistant in grocery store that sells fruit. You provide detailed answers to the questions about the produce. Uh, yeah. Okay. And here then we will accept from the user. See input method of the Python to accept from the user the question. Okay. So that question as a text will go to the prompt. If it is not equate, that text is not equate. Okay, then we will go ahead, get a response to image input here. This is the image what we want to submit. And the image is online. Okay, so here I copy this code. Image is available online. I paste that code here. Yeah. So this is the image of the orange. Okay, first of all, we are getting that image downloaded here. Okay, and then here we are submitting the prompt to OpenAI client. Okay, so here is the model deployment, which is 5.4 for us. Here is the system message. Here is the prompt, and the image is of the that is image of the data URL. So once it receives that image, okay, and it receives the prompt. The prompt can be, what confectionaries can be created from this given fruit, maybe something like that. Okay, and it has to answer. So fine. If you have any question on the code, please go ahead. Otherwise, I will try to put this code to run to see how does it work. Any question? Let me just check. Attach image option is not available in chat. No, you may be having smaller screen. You may have to scroll to the right, down somewhere, but you have to get that option. Option is there. Okay, you can have a look at the code. Any question if you have about the code, please let me know. If you want any further explanation, I can do. Or otherwise, let me put this code to run to see how does it give me the response. Next step is to log into the Azure portal. As here we are not working in Azure portal. We are working in third entity that is called as a cloud shell. Okay, which may not be logged into Azure portal. So I have to specifically log into Azure portal. AZ. Okay, whenever you are using this code, you have to log into Azure portal. this code. Okay, whenever you are working in uh, Visual Studio Code, there also you have to log into Azure portal. Okay, so here it is asking me to submit this code, Control C. Okay, Control C. Okay, and go to this URL code. Next. Yes. Huh. Okay. I have been logged into Azure portal through Cloud Shell. So this step is also done. And now I have to run that Python application. Suggest some recipe that includes this fruit. Now we know that fruit is orange. Okay, but we want it to recognize that fruit. Hopefully it will recognize. What it is? Grapefruit salsa that include grapefruit. So instead of it has identified it as a grapefruit. Indian recipes. Let me. Oh, what recipes of this fruit? Hmm. Okay. Now it has given me correct answer. Orange, marmalade, smoothie, tart, gingerbread, orange relish. Okay. So now it has identified. I think I did some change in the prompt and now it started answering. So again, look at the code and try to see how can we attach image to the prompt. Okay. So here is a code. User content text. The prompt is one attachment and image URL. Okay. This is another attachment. Have I made this point clear to everybody? Is it clear? Hello? Is it clear or not clear? Any question on this? Okay. Okay. I got only one answer. So others may be having. Okay. So I think I'll try to cover as many things as I can. Yes, you mentioned a point about. Huh, yeah. You mentioned a point about agentic AI or AI agent. Okay. I little bit reluctant to discuss that point for the reason that I thought many of you may not be in position to understand that point, because that point has some prerequisite like more knowledge of prompt is necessary, more knowledge of prompt flow is necessary, um, uh, more knowledge of you know little knowledge of copilot is necessary. So that's why means I avoided that point in discussion, because here I could at that time I saw around 40 joinees. Okay, and I thought only two. I got query on that point from 2 3 people only. So that's why I avoided. But otherwise, that point can be discussed at length in our 5 days session. Any other question? If you have, please go ahead. Okay, so you can continue putting up your questions in case if I have missed any question. Okay, I have missed your any question and I did not answer. Okay, that is sheer overlooking only. Okay, you please put forth your question again. Okay, so that I can revert to you. But if I have missed that question, it is only I have overlooked it. Okay, there are URL shared for you to maybe fill up the feedback and redeem the badge. Okay, I again remind you, please redeem the badge. Okay, and fill up the feedback before you leave this session. Okay, badge anyway is to uh, improve your profile, and feedback basically is to improve my profile. Feedback is really important for us. So yeah, we can go into huddle now to discuss questions if any. So go ahead with your questions. In the meantime, let me close all the services. Okay, and let me close all the services. Okay, have I received any question? Thanks, Swapnil. I tried my best, and to be very frank, to very honestly, okay, there were some other labs also I wanted to cover, maybe at least one lab for agent AI agent. Okay, but somehow I also ran out of time. Uh, I wanted to say take one lab on data mining also. Okay, but all these labs are a bit lengthy. Okay, so I had to select those labs which are small and which can give you at least some idea about this course. Okay, to be very frank, the certification is not at all difficult. We do sorry, what do we arrive to after doing his agents in terms of business values? I am not, I am a non-IT guy, so wanted to know what product do we arrive to after doing all this work, or probably we can arrive to build a niche product. See, Rajan, very important thing. There is a hue and cry that what developers will do in case if generative AI will start writing the code and writing the applications. I got extremely surprised when I heard that Elon Musk declared uh, a company, what is this, a macro hard company, exactly opposite to Microsoft. So he introduced a macro hard company where he is developing such an AI system. That system itself will produce the products similar to Microsoft products. So what you can say. Microsoft has, spent so much time and so much expertise and so much money in developing those products. And here, his Micro Hard, the company, is a AI system, okay, which will create those products in short span of time, very short span of time, and perhaps at many places better than the quality, existing quality. So if that is going to happen, then what we people will do, what IT people will do. So IT people will have, to learn this technology, okay, in which um, every application as of now in the world will be will be Gen AI enabled. Every application. You will see hereafter even local applications also will advertise their product as Gen AI enabled. That has become a craze. And if it is so, then who will write the code there in these applications? So developers only. So developers will write the code. So developers will have to change their role hereafter. And their role will be to identify different and different use cases to utilize the power of the Gen AI and incorporate those use cases within different and different products. So there they may not be writing too much code, okay, but some part of the code they will have to write. So their role is not diminished as of now. Their role has been changed now. They have to change their role. So this is about IT people. I will come back to non-IT also. Okay, so their role they will have to change. That is one thing. Okay, and another thing is so even for IT guys also, this GenAI is not going to eat all these services. Okay, because new horizons are getting open for them. So they should not get themselves discouraged, but yes, they have to pull up their socks and try to go into this new horizon. For non-IT guys, now at one side, these non-IT guys will be using different tools. So maybe some financial tools are there, Word like, PowerPoint like, Excel sheet like tools. Every tool is getting well equipped with Gen AI. Every tool. So there is something called as a co-pilot. Now, co-pilot is an example of agentic AI only. What co-pilot does? Co-pilot, again, you ask it to do something, maybe in the word, you ask it to do something, and inside the word, it does that thing for you. So you will ask in the PowerPoint to create a slide for you, and it will create a slide for you. In Eclipse or in these editors, being a developer, you will ask it to write some code, and it will write that code within your editor. So for non-IT guys also, every product is getting well equipped with a Gen AI, and in case if non-IT guys are aware of this technology, okay, they will be they will use this co-pilot very effectively in their products. You can see visualization tools like PowerPoint and Tableau. Okay, you might not have till to the date you might not have imagined that in your natural language, you will ask PowerPoint to pull up that specific data set and create a visual for you. But hereafter, you can do that. Copilot, every product that is getting developed, okay, whenever it is getting the Gen AI enabled, what do you mean by making that product Gen AI enabled? So actually, see, there is one more component to be designed in that product. That component is called as a copilot. Okay, copilots are written by developers and are added into that product, and thereby that product or that tool becomes Gen AI enabled. So writing the copilots for all these again is a Herculean task. Okay, and that is going to give bread and butter for all the developers. Okay, and using those the copilots in different products is going to give bread and butter to the non-IT guys also. Okay, Shubha has shared feedback form. Okay, please share the fill the feedback form and mention here in the chat that you have redeemed the uh, badge and you have filled feedback form also. Okay, so that Shubha will be able to count how many of you have completed it. Okay, please take your time and complete this process. And once you complete this process, if you don't have any question, you can drop yourself. Huh? I am done with my explanation. I will always encourage you to join our 5 days course. Okay, so that you will feel like we are having a deep dive of all these topics, whatever we have had uh, a quick tour to today. Okay, so I can see two messages. Huh. Acha Rajun, sir, can I have your email ID and LinkedIn ID? LinkedIn ID anyway you will get it. We are not supposed to share email ID for the privacy reason. Um, we have been bound by the rules and regulations from Microsoft. Okay, so you can visit my LinkedIn. Okay, and there I will we can have a discussion. Okay, but personal ID anyway not possible to share uh, for the said reason what I told you. So thanks Balakumar. Thanks Vijay. How to get details about 5 days session? Shubha, are you there? Shubha? Okay, I will remind Shubha. He will share the details with you. Huh? Yeah. My LinkedIn ID with the name Chandrasekhar Deshpande. Chandrasekhar Deshpande. I'm not South Indian. I'm Maharashtrian. So Chandrasekhar. Shekhar. I will ask Shubha to connect to you, huh, Bala. Although he has a practice to connect to everybody after the session. No, no. Synergetics India Private Limited. Synergetics India Private Limited. Yes, Vinod, you have any question? Let me try log in to my LinkedIn profile. Okay. Yes, Rajun. I need to log into. Just give me a time. So, Rajun, I will request. I will revert to you. On my LinkedIn profile, I will revert to you because I will have to search for the credentials to log into it. Okay, maybe the credentials are in the another laptop. So, yeah, yeah. And now I think it is time for us to drop. Okay. So, yeah, see you. Please allow me to drop now. Okay. Thanks for your support and the way you did interaction in this session. Thanks all.
Everyone, please do fill the feedback form and redeem your learning achievement badges before ending this session. Once you are done, you can end this session. Thank you.